So we find ourselves in the depths of the messy side of my carport with everything that I can't be bothered to organise. We're doing a video today, and surrounding this backpack and this 8-wheel drive amphibious vehicle called an Argo. I'm going to a hunting reserve sometime soon, and this little pack here hides my little Chiapa little badger, my little tiny rifle. You can just barely see it in there. It folds up really compact. What I'd like to do is have this pack hide out on the back here. So today's job is work out how to make that happen, and in such a way that it doesn't damage the rifle. And the magpie heard me say hunting and decided he wants in on some food. So I better go and feed him first. Alright, so we paid the mafia tax. You happy with the meals that are on offer? I think you are, because you took it straight out of my hand. Alright, so for now we're going to ignore the piles of junk in here. That's going to get cleaned out before we leave. The generator is going to stay behind. Now, I had thought about firstly having a conversation with my neighbour's dog, because every time I hit the record button it decides to take ejection with that. Anyway, these I thought about hooking like a little clip that clips over here. I can't find anything that is both small enough to fit through that and big enough to go around here, unless I do something intermediate. What I'd really like to do is some point in the future put a new board all the way across this and fix it into the bottom, and then I can put all my fittings on that I like. Now, given that I'm not looking for rapid deployment here, I can probably just undo these straps, thread it over the top much like this, and hang it off there, and then maybe whack a zip tie in the middle to stop it sliding sideways like this does. This is my water carrier. And then what I can probably do is run maybe a cable or something across the bottom here to help stabilize everything from swinging. Right, now one theoretical issue I guess this kind of solves is that somebody can't just grab this, yank, and take off with my entire pack. Although I may have just spotted a reason why that might be the case. There's actually clips under there. Alright, that was short-sighted of me. Anyway, I digress. The idea behind having this strapped down means it can't be immediately ripped off, and ergo my firearm can't go missing if I look away for 10 seconds. Probably not going to be near people for long enough for that to be a problem. I noticed there's a waist strap here. That might actually go around here. There isn't much to strap it around in there, and I can't really tuck that clip in there, it'll get broken. So that might strap around here. Alright, so that sits a little cockeyed there, but at least it's not going to flap around too much. I might whack an octopus strap around that anyway, just to keep it in position. Obviously I'm going to leave the bag here overnight, but I am going to take the firearm out and lock it up in the safe, as is required standards here. And this little strap here I think will keep things a bit more tied up, and there's a loop there that maybe the strap can go through. Alright, it's not perfect, but I think it might stay on there. That's going to bounce around a lot. I think I spotted something. Alright, now it's better secured. I found one of these cam lock straps that I used to hold the battery down with. I have gone down to the ring at the front, up and over the top on the back there. That is in very securely and solidly now. I'll top this up full of water. I've got my crap bags there for the toilet, and I think some signal flares and a first aid kit. This guy I probably need to attach in a similar fashion. Might do that next. Alright, zip tie removed. That'll chuck in the pile. I'll clean that up later, in maybe 3 years. Alright, we need to untie these and flip it over. Alright, this one's moved up a little bit. That looks much better. Still going to swing like that. I need to tie it down. This one never comes off here. This is an old hydration pack. Maybe that might work. I can thread that round somehow, make a loop on there. That should stop it swinging somewhat, and we'll put another one of these Aussie straps over here. Aussie strap is a short term for octopus strap. If you get a proper octopus strap, they come with a ring and like 4 of them or that are looped through, or 8 of them in an octopus configuration, usually used for holding a load down. But also these things, if used wrong, can cause you to lose an eye or worse. Now I figured I'd better do inventory as to what's in that bag, because I hadn't in a while. These guys are definitely not usable. I had a half a tube of used condensed sweetened milk. I've got a whole ration pack under the seat. I've got an FRH in there, which is really redundant because I've got one under the seat already. A brand new complete container of electrolyte. Not bad. I do have electrolyte sachets though in the rat pack, so that might actually get removed, and we might just keep the bags for the toilet seat in there, because I have a folding toilet seat, so I can be environmentally friendly. And I might whack a lighter in there, which does actually work. Now, I wasn't sure if I had everything in the first aid kit, but I realised it's never been opened and it's rusting away, so I better open it and check. Alright, so it is a complete first aid kit, mostly intact. What's our best before? 2026. At least that's on the wound dressings. And it was packed in 2021. So it's not that old, it's 2024 now. That should do for another couple of trips before we get another one. Now, next job, remove our 2 litre water container, give that a rinse and a refill. Alright, fresh 2 litres of water, it's been soaped and cleaned out. I'm not too worried about this pouch, I can get them, they're readily available. Now these 2 pouches are basically cheap hydration pouch and first aid kit. They're available at the supermarket and also at Chemist Warehouse. That thing's pretty easy to find. This one, I've never been able to find another one like this. This was like a $10 cheapie at like Cheapest Chips or something. And it's starting to get a little old, but you know, we'll use it and enjoy it. Next job is to check under the seat here, which is a bit of chaos, but we'll check that the essentials are here. Okay, so we have cleaning rags, which we always use. We have a little bit of chain oil, probably enough to get us out of trouble. Another flare, which we've got the ones in the back, we probably don't need that. We have our winch remote, got some repellent, got an emergency life jacket. These are just the little wrist mounted ones. My emergency screwdriver kit, my spare winch remote. I have the GPS that lives under here. That can come out in a bit. We have our 24-hour rat pack. That's not punctured and squished, is it? No, that looks pretty good. We've got a lighter. We can at least get a spark out of that one. We've got several lighters under here. At least one of them works. Alright, and we've got another one. Here we go. 2 work. Okay, that's a good sign. We have a daylight glow stick. There's a couple of them under there. Not sure how good they are. Spot trace, that's good. Another FRH, which lives with the rat pack. That looks to be still intact. That's good. Have my bog roll, which is enough for probably 1 wipe. Then there's my, there's more bog roll and my other survival kits, which have got some basic stuff in here, which I covered with my finger. More lighters, more bloody, what are these, hexamine tablets. So we've got duplicates of things, we should be plenty fine. This is difficult filming with one hand, as you might imagine. Sorry about the fingers getting in the way. So what we might do, make one change. We're going to pack our rags underneath the FRH and the rat pack to buffer the rat pack slightly. Okay, take your other rag up there, which is tangled in our GPS strap. Okay, the rag can stay away from battery, and that's why the unshielded tin is away from the battery terminals, which are fairly well insulated. We just want to be sure to be sure. Okay, well, it's not the neatest under there, but it shuts without crushing things. Now, I'm relatively sure there is a spare key in there. I will locate that and make sure. Alright, spare key located, and we have some USB-C charging cables under there, which, whilst they're not only handy for charging my phone, because there is a USB charging port over there, they're also charging something else. I'll show you. Alright, and it looks like it's air show time again. Overhead, another PC-21. Now, back to the topic at hand. Buried in the messy part of the 6-wheel drive here, because we have 6-wheel drive, because, you know, I just like rubber apparently. Anyway, we have one of these thingies. This thing I have used in the past to pump up the tyres on that thing. But in the 8-wheeler, which is what I bought this for, it's very difficult to use a push bike pump to pump these tyres up. They're not very high pressure, they're only like between 3 and 5 psi. But it just takes a month of Sundays. There's a lot of volume in them. So this is very handy, and I'll show you why. Now the battery in these, you can charge it by plugging a USB-C cable directly into it. Very, very nifty, and makes this an extremely handy bit of gear. So I can take this with me. I can have a light source on the end. I can have my pump it up, and I've got I think even ball needles hiding away in here. So if you know, my balls need needling, I can handle that in the field as well. And of course, I need to do a system check. You can turn it on. You get a light, which is quite bright. Oh, that was a nice little pop. Okay, that works. Alright, it does function, and that will be very handy. Now I have to find a way to squeeze it under the seat. One thing occurs to me. It's not all that much different from the bottle of electrolyte I took out. That might mean that it has a good spot to hide. Right in here. Beside the flares. Actually, I should check that they're actually in date, because it is actually illegal to carry out-of-date flares. We'll plonk that in there. We'll see if we can fit all this in here. Alright, amazingly, it all fits in there nicely. I still need to strap that round. Where'd that Aussie strap go? Alright, nice neat little solution here. Keeps things from slapping around too much. That's good. Now, some of you who think of the absolute worst case scenarios might go, what happens if the battery goes flat, you can't start the engine, and because this doesn't have an alternator, it's only got a stator. What if you can't charge the battery properly to run that? Well, firstly, I do have another charge adapter under there that I can plug straight in the lighter socket in case that one gets full of water. And in the toolbox over here, I've got something I plan to add later. Now, later, we can open this. I plan to add this little 5-watt solar panel somehow onto the bonnet or the hood, depending on which part of the world you come from. I have yet to figure out exactly how to do that. And there is just a little solar regulator on it, which there's a little bit of sun hitting it now. And I fitted an accessory plug in here, which is also known as a merit plug. I had to stop and think about that. So this is a merit plug and socket, so I can plug it in and unplug it. So if I happen to be out the field with a different battery, these are very easy to refit in the field or open up and put a couple of clip leads on. Makes modification easy. I have my life jacket here. I have one that's been deployed that we need to pack up again, but yeah, I've got to replace all of them anyway. Alright, a couple of last minute checks while we're at it. This thing probably is due for an oil change fairly soon, but we just check the colour and level thereof. Looks to be pretty good. We'll probably do the same with gearbox oil down here. Gearbox oil. Could use a small top up. We might put a little bit in that before we go. Alright, winch solenoid's in good condition. Big fuse, or that's a remote receiver. I had to disconnect that and muck around with this for ages. Realised I had the wrong remotes. Something else we're going to do here is just check our hours, which probably helps if we turn the battery on. So we are 149. 1,490 Ks, where we go, mode. Total 123 hours, we've got another 25 hours before the oil change. We should be good, the oil kind of reflects that. But yeah, I've done nearly 1,500 kilometres in it. Now, given those 1,500 kilometres have been done at about 40 Ks an hour or much less, that's not too bad, I guess. In any case, we will probably put some grease in the outer bearings in the field. We can oil the chains a bit. There is more chain oil in the trailer. We will clear the trailer and mount that. I will do that tomorrow. For now, we're going to take the firearm out and put that away safely. And we may arrange a little bit of spare fuel. I think I've got a 5-litre Jerry that I might take this time. Might be a little bit better. In any case, I hope it's been interesting. You're dealing with all the mess out here, and so am I. But we'll see you on the next one, and hope it was fun.